Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Cello here, and for today's video I wanted to share you guys my story, certain one, which is somebody that became my stalker. Unless you've gotten stalked before, you guys know that that's like the worst, because you're constantly like looking over like your shoulder. Is this person gonna come out of nowhere? Am I even safe here? Frustrating to have that feeling. 2016, because I had just turned 20, I remember. Guy, the stalker, we're gonna call him Pancho. He graduated high school back in like June of 2015. Pancho sends me a message through like Instagram. He's talking to me. Pancho and I literally start talking like every single day. Carolina or South Carolina, I don't know, like I started catching feelings for him. I know at this point we weren't dating or anything, but we were just like talking to each other like every day. December came around and he was like, oh, back to California. And he did came back to California. He never asked me to be his girlfriend or anything, so say I was his girlfriend, but I would never say, oh, that's my boyfriend. And he would get mad. My birthday is January 7th, so he left like a day or two before my birthday, and it's not like he could stay, like he had to go back already for those 2 weeks. Like we were gonna make it official, but then he didn't, so I was just kind of like, okay, I'm like gonna waste my fucking time here. So at that point I was just kind of like, dude, like what is the whole point of this, you know? 4 months of just talking to each other. I was already getting fed up, so I wouldn't like message him as often, or like sometimes I wouldn't answer his calls. I was just kind of like, dude, I'm like bouncing out. He told me like, oh, like my friends and I might go out on the weekend like to drink or not. So he told me like, oh, my friends are inviting me to go out, but I don't really feel like going out. He told me that like on a Thursday, and then on Friday he's like, oh, like no, I'm not gonna go anywhere, like I don't feel like going, like Snapchat. And I seen that he had gone out with his, like he literally told me like, oh yeah, like I'm like, he's like Snapchat, and him and his friends were at the strip club, and his friend, I guess Pancho got like too fucked up, and his friend was like recording everything. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? In the morning he messaged me and he was like, oh, like whatever's, you know, on me. But I was just like acting like nothing happened. So how was last night? And he was like, oh, like, you know, I was just chill, I just stayed in. But by the time that I asked him that, like they had deleted the Snapchat stories, like they weren't there anymore. Oh, so how was I literally said, so how was the strip club? And he was literally like, he didn't even know what to say. And he's like, oh, it's not even what you think, like I didn't even want to go, but my friends made me go. And I was like, what the fuck, I was like, dude, if you can't even be like straight up about something, like going out with your friends and doing shit like that, what else are you gonna be lying to me about? Or what else are you lying to me? What else will you be lying to me in the future? Or what else are you lying to me right now? Like a week went by, and then he would like be messaging me or like calling me and everything, and I wouldn't answer him anymore. And I was like, you know what, fuck this shit. I wrote him like a big ass paragraph, and first of all, you're not even my boyfriend, we're just into this situationship, and I don't want to be dealing with somebody that is like on the other side of the coast and can be straight up about things. No, like let me make things better. And he said something like, oh, I'm gonna go back over there like around March or April. So I would always like just be like, oh, because my mom lives in a mobile home park, so when I used to live with her, I'll be like, oh, like meet me at the pool. And like literally the pool is right at the entrance, so her house is like a block and a half, so I would just like, they would just like pick me up or drop me off, and then afterwards, after like they pulled out of the parking thing, then I would go walking home. Pancho was like, oh, like I'm gonna go back home, and then I want to talk to you, and like we're gonna fix things, and then things are gonna get better. He just kept messaging me, and he knew, like he's like, oh, like I'm gonna make things better once I get back home, and no sé qué. The months passed by, oh, like I'm back home and everything, and I was like, okay, cool for you, but I already told you, like don't even come around near my house because I don't want to talk to you or anything. And by this point he literally knew where I lived, like the exact house that I lived in. He knew where I worked, and then on top of that, I literally took him to my grandma's house so my grandma could meet him. And my grandma ended up living, like stepdad's house was like 5 minutes away. I had gone out to the movies. This person that I had gone with to the movie theaters, they dropped me off at the pool and then they left. Started walking to my house. The Pancho's car was right in front of my mom's driveway, and so I texted him. Oh, because at that point I had him blocked from like Instagram, Snapchat. I had him blocked from everything. So I unblocked him from Messenger, and I told him like, dude, if you want to talk, come meet me at the pool, because I'm not going to talk to you outside my parents' house. And like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I came to fix things and blah blah blah. And I was like, dude, we're not gonna fix things, leave me alone. And he's like, oh, like and then this is when he like literally started tripping out. He's like, oh, like I'm never gonna leave you alone, like he's like, I'm always gonna know what you're doing. And he's like, oh, like I know where you work, I know where you live, like I'm not just gonna leave you like that, and blah blah blah, like I'm gonna make things better. And I was just like, dude, just like move on. Literally just arguing for like 15-20 minutes. And we were like, he was like, oh, like get in the car and let's talk. And I was like, nah, because I was like, what if he fucking drives me away or something? I'm not gonna be able to get out of the car. And then back here, like he was like leaning against the car, and I was on like over here, so we were like facing like each other right here. And then the car, like the car door was over here, so he was like literally leaning like this, and I was over here. Like from 0 to 1,000 in like 5 seconds. And he literally like he literally grabbed me. Like I remember I was going like this because I had my purse right here, and I was like just arguing with him. And he literally like grabbed me from right here, from like my wrist, from right here, and he started going like this to me. And I was like, bitch, you fucking did not just do that to me. And like he was like so heated, I was scared. I was like, dude, this is literally gonna fucking punch me right now. So at this point, like my hands were like this. Like he was like going like this, like he was grabbing me from right here, but he was like going like this to me. And I was like, what the fuck? And the only thing I could think about that point was literally to like grab him by the neck. And for some reason, like I managed to get this arm off, and I literally just fucking grabbed him from the neck and I pushed him to the car, and I was fucking choking the shit out of him. And I was like, I was so mad, and I was like, dude, can you just fucking leave me alone already? Like I don't want to know shit about you, like just leave me alone. And I was just like going off on him. And I remember like I started walking towards my house, and this dude still fucking follows me. He followed me, like he was walking behind me, and then he grabbed me from the arm. And I was just like, bro, you want me to choke you again? He was like, oh, whatever you do or wherever you go, I'm always gonna be there. I already know everything about you. You take the bus, or that you go walking, and I'm gonna be here, so I always know like what you're doing. I feel like the situation gotten so out of hand that I didn't know what the fuck to do anymore. And then I started running, and I ran into my house. I remember like just being in my room, and I was just crying, and I was like, dude, what am I gonna do? Like I was freaking out. And then I could tell my parents, but I didn't want to get my parents involved, because at the end of the day, this was my dumbass fault. Like I got myself into this situation, into a dumb situation, especially like relationship stuff. Like I'm gonna get myself out of it one way or another. I never wanted to involve my parents, especially my dad. I remember the only person that knew about it at that point was my sister. I told my sister, and my sister was like, dude, what the fuck, El Pancho did that? And I was like, yeah, dude, like he started tripping out. After that, like literally, like he would still message me. That's probably gonna be it. Like he's not gonna bug me anymore. My sister was like, oh dude, maybe you're being like too fucking rude to him or to me. I tell him things nice, he doesn't understand. I talk too much shit to him, tampoco entiende. So what am I supposed to do? Time passed by. At that time at my old job, the night shift, so the night shifts, I would go in at 3 p.m. and I would get off like at 11. Like I would end up going to sleep like at 3 in the morning. So this one time I was home alone in my room. There's like a little ramp to the laundry rooms. I would always sleep with my window open. That day I woke up around 11ish or noon. I remember hearing somebody walking up and down the freaking ramp, and my dumbass really thought it was like the FedEx guy or somebody like dropping off a package. So I didn't really like trip about it. I went on my phone and I got this message from like a random phone number, and then it was him, and he said like, oh, he's like, I went to your house, but I realized that nobody was home, and I left you something by the ramp. When I left to work, he left like some flowers. Got the flowers and I threw them to the trash. And then I told my sister, and then she's like, dude, you're so mean. Why did you throw away the flowers? The other day when he was tripping out, I felt like he was gonna hit me or something, and I was not gonna let that one. First of all, he started grabbing me from my wrist. He fucking grabs me like that, and what if he would have hit me? Like, dude, hell no. Oh, like maybe you're being a little too mean or whatever. And I was like, nah, dude, like he doesn't fucking understand. Hey, like maybe now this time he's really gonna like leave me alone. But guess what? I was wrong again. One day that I was working the night shift, my sister, like, she kept calling me, but I couldn't answer her. I called her back, crying and crying and crying. Like she couldn't even tell me what was going on. because she could like not stop crying. Just kept saying like, oh, like he's here, he's here. I mean, he's here. My mom and my dad were not home. She was home alone and I was at work, so I was like, dude, what am I gonna do? Like, what if he freaking does something to my sister? El Pancho, he's here, and like he's making like a fucking scene outside, and he's like literally like banging on the door, and like I had to unblock him again. Called him and, dude, what the fuck are you doing at my house? Like, I fucking know you're in there, like get out, like I need to talk to you. I'm not at my fucking house. And he's like, so then where are you? And I was like, it doesn't matter, I'm just not home. My co-worker took the phone away from me, like just leave her alone. I literally got 2 fucking minutes to bounce out of my house. If you're not out by 2 minutes, I'm calling the cops and you can figure it out with them. What part of like leave me alone having you understood and you can figure it out with the cops? The last thing he ever texted me was like, okay, I'm gonna leave, and that was it. It was just like messaging me and like stuff like that a while. It did freak me out in the sense that I was like, dude, like what if he just pops out of nowhere? I didn't want to go out anywhere. Like I would literally go from home to work and then work from home. The only person that knew what was going on was my sister. It was in the day or like the afternoon. Like I would literally just get home and I would like literally just lock myself in my room because I didn't want to like be out and about. Sometimes I would just be like sitting down like watching TV, and if I would hear a car, I would get so much anxiety. Before like I started talking to him, like I would tell my coworkers or my friends like, oh, like this person, this and this, and they'll be like, dude, don't fucking do it, they're fucking crazy. And I was just like, dude, you're tripping out. And a lot of my coworkers would be like, dude, like this happened to me like with like this Marine guy or like this military guy, and I would be like, okay. But there I went like being dumb, and like I was like, to me, I never thought he would act out, because I was like, dude, he's been my friend since high school. Like I met him back in the day, he's like a really good person and blah 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 blah. But you know, like you just never know when somebody's gonna act out that way, and eventually like maybe you guys are gonna watch this video and they're gonna be like, dude, it wasn't even that bad. But yeah guys, it was just so frustrating and it was so scary. But yeah guys, that's it for today's video. Guys, thank you for watching this video and watching my crazy story time. This is not the crazy story time I have like a lot. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys learned something. Be careful who you talk to and who you date, and don't just give anybody your address because you never know.